All glories to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Madhya Lila, Chapter 14, Text 252. Bhagayavan Satyaraja Basuramananda Siva Agyapana Haila Parama Ananda. After receiving orders from the Lord for the rendering of service, the fortunate Satyaraj and Ramananda Vasu were highly pleased. 253. Pratibatsara Gundi Chate Bhakta Gana Sange Atadori Lana Aishe Atibada Range. Every year thereafter, when the Gundicha temple was being cleansed, Satyaraj and Ramananda Vasu would come with other devotees and with great pleasure bring silken rope. 254. Tabe Jagannathayai Vasila Simhasane Mahaprabhu Gare Aila Lana Bhakta Gane. And thus Lord Jagannath returned to his temple and sat on his throne while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence with his devotees. 255. Ehi mata bhakta gane yatra dekhaila bhakta gana lana vrindavan keli kaila. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed the Ratha Yatra ceremony to his devotees and performed the Vrindavan pastimes with them. 256. Chaitanya Goshanhira Lila Ananta Apara Sahasravadana Yara Nahi Paya Para. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are unlimited and endless. Even Sahasravadana, Lord Sesha, cannot reach the limits of his pastimes. 257. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pare Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pare Yara Asa Chaitanya Charitamrta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I Krishna Das narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta following in their footsteps. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Madhya Lila, 14th chapter, describing the performance of the Vrindavan pastimes and the Hera Panchami Yatra. Madhya Lila, chapter 15. The Lord accepts prasadam at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. The following summary of this chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Bhasya. After the Ratha Yatra festival, Sri Advaita Acharya worshipped Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with flowers and tulasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in return, worshipped Advaita Acharya with the flowers and tulasi that remained on the offered plate, and said a mantra, Yosi so si namostute. Whatever you are, but I offer my respects unto you. Then Advaita Acharya Prabhu invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for prasadam. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees performed the Nandotsava ceremony, the Lord dressed himself as a cowherd boy. Thus the ceremony was very jubilant. Then the Lord and his devotees observed Vijaya Dasami, the day of victory when Lord Ramachandra conquered Lanka. The devotees all became soldiers of Lord Ramachandra, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the ecstasy of Hanuman, manifested various transcendentally blissful activities. Therefore, the Lord and his devotees observed various other ceremonies. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked all the devotees to return to Bengal. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu to Bengal for preaching and also sent Ramadasa, Gadadhar Das, and several other devotees with him. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with great humility, sent some Jagannath Prasad and a cloth from Lord Jagannath to his mother through Srivas Thakur. When the Lord bade farewell to Raghava Pandit, Vasudev Datta, the residents of Kulinagram, and other devotees, he praised them for their transcendental qualities. Ramananda Vasu and Satyaraj Khan asked some questions, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, devoted to chanting the holy name, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed them that all the householder devotees must engage themselves in the service of Vaishnavas exclusively devoted to chanting the holy name of the Lord. He also instructed the Vaishnavas from Kanda, as well as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Vidya Vachaspati. He praised Murari Gupta for his firm faith in the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. Considering the humble prayer of Vasudev Datta, he established that Lord Sri Krishna is qualified to deliver all the conditioned souls. Thereafter, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was accepting prasadam at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma's son-in-law, Amogha, created trouble in the family with his criticisms. The following morning, he was attacked by the disease of Visuchika, cholera. Cholera. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very kindly saved him from death and enlivened him in chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. Text 1. Sarvabhauma gridhe bhunjan svanidhakam amogakam angi kurvan sutam chakre purasvam bhaktavasyatam. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking prasadam at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Amogha criticized him. Still the Lord accepted Amogha, thereby showing how much he was obliged to his devotees. Two. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Chandra. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. 3. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Shrota Jaya Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Shrota Gana Chaitanya Charitamrta Yandra Pranadana. All glories to the listeners of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta who have accepted it as their life and soul. 4. Ei Mata Mahaprabhu Bhakta Gana Sange Lila Chale Rahi Kare Nritya Gita Range. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Jagannath Puri, he constantly enjoyed chanting and dancing with his devotees. 5. Pratam Avarsare Jagannatha Darashana Nritya Gita Kare Danda Paranamastavan. In the beginning of the day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the deity of Lord Jagannath in the temple. He offered him obeisances and prayers and danced and sang before him. 6. Upala Boga Lagile Kade Bhari Re Vijaya Haridasa Mili Aise apana nilaya. After visiting the temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would remain outside during the Upala Bhog offering. He would then go meet Haridas Thakur and return to his residence. Purport. At noon, when there was an Upala Bhog offering in a place called Bhoga Vardhana Kanda, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go outside the temple. Before long, outside, he used to stand near the Garuda Stamba column and offer his obeisances and prayers. Afterwards, the Lord would visit Siddha Bakula, where Haridas Thakur lived. After visiting with Haridas Thakur, the Lord would return to his own place in the abode of Kasi Misra. 7. Kare Vasi Kare Prabhu Nama Sankirtana Advaita Siya Kare Prabhura Pujana. Sitting in his room, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant on his beads, and Advaita Prabhu would come there to worship the Lord. 8. Sugandhi Salhile Dena Padya Achamana Sarvange Lepaye Prabhura Sugandhi Chandana. While worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya would offer him scented water to wash his mouth and feet. Then Advaita Acharya would smear very fragrant sandalwood pulp all over his body. 9. Gale mala tena mataya tulasi manjari yodhahate stuti kare pare namaskari. Sri Advaita Prabhu would also place a flower garland around the Lord's neck and tulsi flowers, manjaris, on his head. Then, with folded hands, Advaita Acharya would offer obeisances and prayers unto the Lord. 10. Puja patre puspatulasi seshaye achila sei sabalana prabhu acharye pujila. After being worshipped by Advaita Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take the dish containing flowers and tulasi, and with whatever paraphernalia remained, worship Advaita Acharya. 11. Yosisos jinamostute e mantra pade mukhavadya kari prabhu hasaya acharyera. Hasaya acharyera. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would worship Advaita Acharya by chanting the mantra, "Whatever you are, but I offer my respects unto you." In addition, the Lord would make some sounds within his mouth that would make Advaita Acharya laugh. 12. Eimata aniyonye karena namaskara prabhure nimantrana kare acharya bara bara. In this way, Advaita Acharya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would offer their respectful obeisances unto each other. Then Advaita Acharya would extend an invitation to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again. 13. Acharyera nimantrana ascharya katana vistari varniyachena dasa vrindavana. Indeed, Sri Advaita Acharya's invitation is another wonderful story. It has been very vividly described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. 14. Punharukti hayataha nakailun varnana arabhakta ganakare prabhude nimantrana. Since Advaita Acharya's invitation has been described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, I shall not repeat the story, but I shall say that other devotees also extended invitations to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 15. Eka eka dina eka eka bhakta. Eka dina eka dina eka bhakta grhe mohatsava. Prabhu Sangeta Hanbojana Kare Bhakta Sabha. Day after day, one devotee after another would invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the other devotees to lunch, and would also hold a festival. 16. Charimasa Rahila Sabe Mahaprabhu Sange Jagannatera Nana Yatra Deke Maharange. All the devotees remained at Jagannath Puri for 4 continuous months, and they observed all Lord Jagannath's festivals with great pleasure. 17. Krishna Janma Yatra Dine Nanda Mahotsava Gopavesha Haila Prabhu Lana Bhakta Sabha. The devotees celebrated the festival of Janmashtami, Krishna's birthday, which is also called Nanda Mahotsava, the festival of Nanda Maharaj. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees dressed themselves as cowherd boys. 18. Dadi Dugda Bharasabe Nijaskande Kari Mahotsavastane Aila Bali Hari Hari. Having dressed up like cowherd boys, all the devotees carried pots of milk and yogurt balanced on rods over their shoulders. Thus they all arrived at the festival grounds chanting the holy name of Hari. "19. Kanani Kutiya Archena Nanda Veshadari Jagannatha Mahati Anachena Vrajesvari." Kanani Kutiya dressed himself like Nanda Maharaj, and Jagannath Mahiti dressed himself as Mother Yashoda. 20. Apane Prataparudra Aramisra Kasi Sarvabhoma Araparicha Patra Tulasi. At that time, King Prataparudra was also personally present with Kasi Mishra, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Tulasi Paricha Patra. 21. Inhasaba Lana Prabhu Kare Nritya Ranga Dadi Dugda Haditra Jale Bare Sabara Anga. As usual, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced jubilantly. Everyone was covered with milk, yogurt, and yellow turmeric water. Thus ends our reading for today. All glories to Sripad Bhakti Madhava Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Sripad Bhakti Gajani Muni Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Sripad Bhakti Nishkamashanta Maharaj Ki Jai. Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.